Hey guys, welcome to What Dinosaur Real Good, the podcast where we find out what dinosaur real good. I am your leader of this conversation. I'm your leader.
I thought we'd all call ourselves the host very smugly when it was our turn, but whatever you want.
I mean,
You're Dino leader.
Here's the thing. I thought about calling myself the host, and I was like, no, that sounds weird because we all are hosts. So I went with leader instead because that sounded more of the people to
Bridgett
me.
Greenberg, your sound leader.
Your sound leader. But yeah, for all intents and purposes, I am your leader now. You can go with that. And here with me are my minions, I guess.
Oh,
now.
we're
Yeah.
going with that. Well, I'm minion number 1, and I'm Abe Epperson.
Michael Swan. Isn't that what the minions do?
I thought you were just doing an impression of me.
No, I was trying to do minion-ish without ever having seen any of those movies. But
The first one's good.
Pretty sure that's how they talk.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
yes.
Yes.
I don't want to be pegged as a minion expert. And that's not what I'm here to talk about.
I hope you brought minions as your pick. Like fossil records.
podcast.
This shit is really, guys.
I am a minion truther. So we're going to find
We
out.
got fossils.
We got little glasses bones.
Yeah.
Glasses bones.
little short pants bones.
Oh my god! If I found out minions were real at one point, I'm gonna do a 180 on my opinion of them. But yeah, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the Ankylosaurus.
Today's dinosaur.
Oh.
Today.
What's that? Tell us about that one.
He is a dinosaur. He or she or whatever gender you want to assign to dinosaurs.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Hey, you can be non-gender binary as a dinosaur, Bridgett.
Yeah. I refer to all animals as guys, like little guys.
Like little
This
dogs.
little guy.
Yeah, they're all
Little guys.
I always say like, "Oh, check out that little guy." Like, and I don't know where that came from, but I don't want to be discriminatory
I know all
against.
ships are female.
Yeah.
Which always seems
and
weird
all dogs
to
is
me.
boys and all cats is girls. So it's just science. We're just talking about science on this podcast. But yeah, so this is a dinosaur from the Cretaceous period. I think this is the oldest dinosaur in the batch. Correct.
It's got to be Cretaceous, right?
Cretaceous, you are right.
Okay.
Yeah, Cretaceous.
I just wanted to know.
Crustacean, because it's not a crustacean.
If there was a period on Earth I haven't heard of.
Where everyone was a crustacean.
All animals were crustaceans. Yeah.
Oh my god, that's my nightmare.
Me too. I find crustaceans pretty creepy, actually.
My biggest fear in this world is
'cause they got little legs?
slugs and snails.
There you go.
Yeah, and one of those things is a crustacean-ish. They're all mollusks, but you know what I'm talking
The
about.
kind of shit she means.
You-
The sea is full of horror.
I'm not here to talk to you about science.
No, you're here to
I've
talk
doubled
But
back.
anyway, moving on to
about
science.
an anklet.
Yeah.
About an anklet. About the Ankylosaurus. Show it some respect. It is your elder. It lived 65.5 million years ago to 66.8 million years ago. And it lived right here in these Western United States.
this
Right where you're
apartment.
standing. It lived here. It's your roommate. It lived in the Western United States and Alberta, Canada. They got real specific.
Wow.
Nice.
Just Alberta.
Yeah.
So real close to us.
Yeah.
They were walking around right here. And they're not real big.
Yeah, what are we looking
We're
at?
looking
Paint
at-
a picture for me.
I'm going to
Yeah,
paint a
paint
picture. What's funny is a lot of scientists
Angles.
compared its face to Zool from Ghostbusters.
Oh.
So it's
I
got
am
like
Zool.
it kind of has like a spiky head. But it's not very big. It's not very tall. It's
It's kind of dragon-like.
Is this the one
Yeah.
that has like the Friar Tuck haircut? If
No.
the hair was spikes?
No.
No, okay.
no.
So it's not headbutting things.
No, it's got kind of like, it's not head-butting things. It is butting things with its butt.
Okay,
Because it's
great.
got a big old...
Great segue.
Yeah, because it's got a big old... What's cool about it is a big old club at the end of its tail.
Yeah, that's
like
the
it's
business end right there.
Yeah, that's like it's got. It looks like a fist coming up at you. Like it's just a long tail, and it's got just bone at the end, which it used to like whack things defensively.
And is the bone like a sphere, a fist shape? If it
It's-
was a human fist shape,
That would be awesome.
It
that
would
would
be
make me
really
believe
cool.
in God.
No.
I'd like have to figure that out.
Or it's just like flipping you you off.
Yeah.
It's just a hand flipping you
Oh
off.
my god.
Just fun.
That
From
would
the
be
middle finger comes a retractable spike.
Right. No, it's more like a whale tail kind of in some of the
Okay.
depictions I'm looking at. So it's
It's like a pendulum.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like a pendulum.
It's like a pendulum.
It's a pendulum.
Just big
But you
bone.
said, but it splits like a whale tail. Like it has that split shape.
It's like it's kind of it's not totally split like a V. It's,
Right.
It's not a shape
Are the
that-
ends pointy?
The ends are it kind of comes out. Oh man, I'm trying
I
hard
mean,
to explain it.
By the time they hear this, there'll be a picture posted under it. But I also just want to know in the moment.
In the moment-
is it pickaxing things to death with its pointy tail?
No, it's
Okay.
a club. It's more club-like than anything.
Okay, so butterflies out like a whale tail, but those
Right.
parts are still just thick,
Right.
knocking
Bulbous.
pieces.
It's just a
Meat,
bulb
yeah.
of bone.
And this whole thing is covered in spikes too. The whole
That's
thing is spikes.
Except the
pretty
tail.
all around.
badass.
The tail goes out like along the tail are spikes, and then it ends in the club.
It's just weird to me that at the tip of the tail, you
Yeah.
didn't want one more killing spike at the,
Yeah,
end,
just
at the end of the
one, just
club.
one impaling
Yeah.
spike. Well, I don't think that would be because like you can't get
Was-
traction, like you
that's
can't
true.
get momentum going that way.
And you don't want to get stuck in the animal.
You want a tail weapon is for swinging and like batting.
That's
you can't
true.
like shiv.
And the
It's not for
spiky,
shivving.
the spiky body makes me think it's more thinking, just leave me the fuck alone. Not,
Right.
I'm trying to kill
This
you.
whole it is
Yeah.
covered in spikes because even its head has like 4 spikes like towards the top of the crown and like by its jawline.
Nice.
And it's
like a-
herbivore as
And
well.
it is an
Gila
herbivore.
monster.
It has crazy looking, like very thin leaf-shaped teeth. That the teeth couldn't do much, but what they found is that it had what is essentially like an abnormally large Adam's apple, which is what anchors the tongue. So it had a very powerful tongue.
So it was
Which
a
I-
non-gender binary.
Yeah.
Very notable Adam's
Right,
apple.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So it was very specific, but I don't know what. Like they don't know the use of what that tongue do.
Could be a gizzard. I don't know. I mean, this is not. Bridgett kindly brought real research, but now pulling
Yeah.
something out of my ass. They are supposed to be right. Birds are descended from dinosaurs.
Right.
Birds have the gizzard, which we don't have, which is a sack of gravel basically in your throat
to break
Right.
it down.
that you, if your teeth suck or you
For
have a beak
bones.
instead of teeth, if anything hard is in your food, you shift it over to the gizzard and you just like shake it and the rocks crunch it up.
Make sense because it mostly.
But no one's like proven that that's what it was.
I mean, it would add up because it also, as you said, was a herbivore and just grazed on low-lying plants.
This
so I'm
is the
sure it ate a
hill-
bunch of rocks.
This is the hill I'm going to die on, you guys. Ankylosaurus had gizzards. This is now
Gizzard.
the most important thing to me to prove.
Ankylosaurus had gizzards, and its name means fused lizard. So
Fused. Where's the
Fused?
fuse come from? Is that because it's spine or something?
yeah, it's because of it's spiky.
Yeah, that's like the Glyptodon.
Yeah.
If you have the tail weapon,
Yeah,
you fuse it together.
It's very similar because this thing's almost impossible for predators to kill, except if the only way, it had a very wide body, so it had a very low center of gravity. The only way you could kill this thing is if you flip it over. It had a soft underbelly, so you had to like get it on its back somehow to kill this thing.
Did you ever watch, what was that shit on? I think it was on Comedy Central, Robot BattleBots.
Yes.
That was also the only way. There were certain...
You have technique. Yeah.
If the bots that were wedge-shaped that flipped other robots over, every robot that came out with like chainsaws spinning and
Right.
flamethrowers, the one that always won was the one that's just like, most robots don't work if you flip them over.
Yeah.
That's the easiest
Well,
way
that-
to destroy something, yeah.
That is a thing that is true about alligators. I
And
don't know.
I think a lot of living things I'm realizing is
Well,
like, your
yeah.
best strategy is, if Abe were to attack me right now, my new strategy would be find a way to knock him over,
Yeah.
thrust my butt at him, and run away.
Well, what
See,
happened?
I thought you were gonna say like spatula me.
Yeah.
just like
Flip 'em.
Just
spatula.
flip
him
you,
like-
full flip.
Yeah, like an
360.
egg. Yeah. Spatula, and then you
yeah, you
just like,
lower
I'm
the
and
shoulder,
then
flip them over.
Spatula bite.
No, that's more of a
spatula
Bridgett
bite.
move.
Yeah,
I got it.
we got to do that when we're low. When we're low people.
Wait,
I
did
call
you-
myself as a short person a low person.
She's
I like that
very
you
low.
receded your head into your shoulders. Like I'm Bridgett.
I'm Bridgett.
Like you're doing an impression of yourself, and it wasn't flattering.
No. Let's not unpack that.
Now I'm starting to like try and identify what it says about each of us about what dinosaur we picked.
We all
picked
identified
with them.
I want to keep hearing about this. I will. I'm already on board with its back.
Yeah,
spines.
its spiky back.
Yeah, because they
can't ride it.
Like Triceratops and Stegosaurus and shit.
Right.
Like boring ass spikes, in my opinion. These spikes are hardcore.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're not.
They're going in all directions.
They're everywhere. It's covered in spikes.
It's like porcupine, but even
they're not long and
porcupine has
thin.
like a groove. These things do not fuck with
Porcupine
grooves.
feels like a bush.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This feels like armor plating.
Yeah.
Where spikes were selected and
It's not
placed
going
there.
to poke you. It's just you're not going to get through.
Right.
Yeah.
Although I am seeing two different like illustrations of it. That one is it's more ordered, like an armadillo, where there's just a protrusion in like a line, and they're all kind of. But there's also drawings of their like larger spikes that are going in different directions. Like
there is a lot of debate about was it a neat row of spikes or was it just craziness? Crazy spikes.
Yeah. 'Cause if it's crazy spikes, fuck.
Crazy
Some
spikes
crazy
are
cool shit.
cooler. But I like to think it had OCD and wanted its spikes.
Usually nature makes things all nice, but you never know. This is not a logical animal.
No, it's not. And the thing when you flip it over, I was say, is an alligator thing because when you grow up in Florida, they teach you gator safety in public schools. And, yeah. And how alligator wrestlers do it, basically wrestle alligators, is if you flip a gator over onto its back, it essentially goes into a coma because its brain's so small it just rockets to the back of its head.
Oh, that's
and it goes
hilarious.
into a coma.
Yeah.
So that's the way to wrestle alligators. You just get it on its back and then it's
what a shitty organism.
Out of commission. Yeah.
I mean, it's congrats on the teeth. Great teeth.
Good teeth.
Cool
job.
Good job with that.
I wonder if it's descended from Ankylosaur. It does seem kind of Ankylosaur-like in
right.
a lot of ways.
I
A
think
lot of
the
the-
idea, of like you protect yourself on top, but at the bottom, sorry, shit out of luck.
But it seems like also like the Ankylosaur and the gator, if your bottom's gonna suck, just have short, stubby legs so that almost nothing ever interacts with your belly.
Well, that's
Yeah.
exactly because this guy was only like 5'6", so slightly,
Okay.
But it's
Like
round,
Dan O'Brien sized.
roughly. That's
He's
like
taller than
he's tall. It's like almost my
Taking him down
a peg.
slightly taller than me. About 2 inches taller than me.
No, this is the hill I'll die on. Dan O'Brien is 5'6".
Is 5'6".
This is so stupid hill.
He's 5'6" and not an inch shorter or taller. But it's pretty wide. It's about 20 feet long. So
20 feet long?
20 feet long.
It's bigger than I thought.
It's a long guy. It's short. It's stout. You know?
Yeah, so even though it feels like you're like, well, it's 5'6", that's a tall creature.
Yeah.
It's not. It's big, but its proportions are more like like a spiky boogie board.
Exactly.
Skimming along at ground level.
Yeah,
Right.
it has a very low center of gravity. Is how because it's
Probably
still
to try not to get flipped.
right. Well, speaking of
get
that,
flipped
it
for
is
real.
4 tons. So
4
it's,
tons?
Yeah.
So what
It's
the
like an
fuck was
elephant.
flipping it? Who's flipping all these 4-ton Ankylosaurs?
I don't think anybody's flipping. They're almost impossible to
okay.
kill.
I like to point you to the Dreadnoughtus.
Yeah. That thing
No, the
is-
Dreadnoughtus
They wouldn't
just-
give a fuck.
Yeah,
It would just be a shadow
It's
from
gotta
above,
be-
and it would crush it.
Yeah, it's got to be the carnivores, the higher carnivores, the higher. There's a name for them, but like
Man.
the Allosauruses and the T-Rexes,
Yeah.
those motherfuckers.
And also, here's a real fun fact. Godzilla's one of Godzilla's enemies is based on the Ankylosaurus.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
It also is-
Anguirus.
Which one?
Anguirus?
Oh, it's not Ghidorah?
No, it's not. Yeah.
It's what's its name? Can you spell it? I want to look up the Godzilla monster.
Uirus.
Look out! It's Anguirus! He's angry at us!
Based on
Yeah.
Based on
Also,
this
there's
dinosaur.
like a Pokemon that
It looks like-
yeah, there is. It is it's silly looking.
And there was a Power Rangers villain that was someone in an Ankylosaur suit, it looks like. It also looks like half Ankylosaur, but also
Yeah,
they still wanted it to look like a dragon or a dinosaur
Right.
in a more
Yeah,
traditional
yeah.
sense. Yeah.
it has more bendy knees. The Godzilla creature is how I will describe it, with bendy knees.
Because in most of the photos, it's clearly a guy in a costume, and he had knees. So
He had
there
knees,
needed
they
to
couldn't
be-
hide those
I
knees.
I don't know if it's a standard of awesome to be based for a Godzilla character to have it be based on you.
You don't
There's
think
no-
moths are the fucking
I
coolest
was
shit
gonna
ever?
mention
dude?
Mothra. Yeah, I was gonna be like that fucking moth.
I
He's
mean,
going crazy at that lamp.
moths are cool. They eat your clothes.
I bet at some point we cover some prehistoric moth that could rip your
The-
goddamn head
yeah,
off.
just fucking, and then it haunts my dreams for the rest of my life.
It's funny we all
Yeah.
picked defensive dinos.
That is
Like,
interesting.
we have
It
all
is.
3 set of our dinosaurs in the first session. Nothing could kill it.
Yeah.
Now I'm starting to wonder, what did the carnivores eat? These poor carnivores.
I know. Well,
There's
they're
all
getting-
these unkillable herbivores wandering around.
Well, they're getting
because
destroyed.
there's just loads of shit dinosaurs.
Yeah. Well, they're getting, because the T-Rex, which is the most famous, but probably the shittiest dinosaur, I feel like, because it had little arms. It's not a very effective dinosaur, but this guy's tail would break bones of T-Rexes, like completely
Nice.
shatter their bones.
Wow.
So like these guys were virtually unkillable, and they're not very big, not very intimidating or threatening.
It's like the T-Rex would probably fuck off and eat a shittier dinosaur.
Yeah, it's just-
rather than deal with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like not only is it hard to eat because it is covered in spikes, but it's also got a tail that's gonna fuck you up.
Yeah.
Have you seen that? It's like the only footage we have of like a bunch of leopards,
Of a real
Yeah.
dinosaur.
real dinosaur, and Mothra. It's called Godzilla.
Post Malone got the footage somehow.
No, it's I forget which one it was, but it was like Planet Earth or something
Yeah.
like that. They had footage of it's like in it's night vision, and it's in like a savanna where it's one of the like an elephant getting taken down by like 7
Oh yeah, that whole
leopards.
sequence. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's this one shot of one of the lionesses that is just breathing real heavy, just like
Killing
fucking-
elephants is hard.
Like you can tell that there's like 8 of them, and they're
Right.
all like doing a good
And
job.
it's
But
just
the
looking
elephant's
back at-
just like, "Fuck off, guys!
Yeah.
This sucks."
And the
then-
lioness is just looking back at the male, being like, "Do something!
Yeah, we're just
Don't just sit
oh,
there,
no,
man."
The male lion is at home sleeping because
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
fucking messed up lions. But yeah, like it's gotta just be exhausting to kill these bigger animals.
But now
to take 'em
imagine
down.
the Ankylosaur, it sounds like, could
It's pretty big.
break
actually.
an elephant's knee with the swing of its tail.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Shatter, go
Yeah.
for the kneecap.
And
Which,
if you,
yeah, I love, because it doesn't want to. It's just it. It looks like
waving
you can
it
pick on it because
Yeah.
it's little, but you can't.
I like to think
Yeah.
whenever it swings the club, it's like, I didn't want to do this.
I didn't
want it
make
to
me do
come to
this.
this.
Yeah,
I
I just it has leaf teeth. It didn't want to
Yeah.
do it. It just was hanging out.
It's got that leaf teeth.
It got leaf teeth.
It's actually interesting because there's not a lot of animals that use their tails as weapons. Still, it's still like
No, it's fair,
pretty
yeah.
balance based. You know, you think of
Yeah.
cats and monkeys, and now obviously that's marsupials and mammals, but like
And scorpion is like to deliver
Yeah.
poison.
Right. It's
Right.
not a club.
Where are the monkeys with
like
a natural
bone
rock
tail.
of cartilage at the
Yeah.
end of their tail that they swing at tourists
Do
and
snakes
shit?
count as harming people with tails?
I mean, I
'Cause
guess
snake
No,
is
their
all
tails.
tails.
they don't harm them, but
No,
like-
it's the teeth.
It's the teeth, but they like can like constrictors.
that's body.
Oh.
That's full body.
That's body.
contact.
Well, I
Where's
mean,
all the club tails? I think is
The
what
club
we're
tails.
asking.
That's what I'm getting
Yeah.
at. Is that's one part of the evolution that like mammals didn't pick up, like
Yeah.
insects didn't seem
That's
to
true.
pick
It
up.
seems to have been
Even
forgotten.
fish, like we still got bony headed. You know, we still got goats and shit.
well, I
Yeah.
think it was also fairly heavy, so it wasn't like a
Right.
great weapon, but
it's strong.
it's strong. It's strong enough
Yeah.
to break some bones, but I think
It also
It's
doesn't
not
seem
ideal.
to have that because it's so short and low to the ground. Based off the photos, I imagine it's not that easy to be mobile. Like it's not very
Sure.
No,
like
yeah.
dexterous.
It's not
so-
very rotationally
no, they're
mobile.
very slow.
And
yeah.
I mean, the tail's like a decent tail. It's not like a tiny tail, but like it's not super long so that it can like wrap around and like be very quick. It's just like I'm gonna wait for you and then batters up
Right.
and I'm gonna knock you out of the park.
no,
kind of
again,
stuff.
the best offense is a good defense
Well,
with
I mean,
this.
we're seeing that seems to be that's at least our first
Yeah.
positions.
Or we all picked defensive dinosaurs because we're all cowards inside.
I actually think
Not
it's because we've been spoon-fed for our entire life that carnivores are cool.
Right, exactly.
Like,
Yeah,
I never even want. I don't care. I know enough about the T-Rex that I'm not like that's no longer a cool dinosaur to me.
No, there's still more to learn.
There's
but
still
like,
more to learn, obviously. But I mean, like, it's just too cool.
I think you're close to the truth. We all just think we're being clever. We're like, they're going to expect some kind of carnivorous thing.
Yeah, we all are just trying to find
Well,
something.
I think
that
we should overcompensate and do carnivores next time.
I want to. You guys are making me want to cover what was the dinosaur that was easiest to kill. Like, oh yeah, T-Rexes are just sucking these things down like popcorn shrimp.
Well, I can't
Well, it
imagine
have to be
there's many.
something that's like a rodent. That's like why
Compy or
mammals
something.
did it because they could like.
yeah, clearly
burrow.
whatever that was didn't live very
You
long.
could it's because you didn't have to like leave your eggs
Yeah.
around. You could like have the baby inside you or the litter and run around and escape danger, and then just give all the babies away essentially to the world because that's how terrifying it was for these. That's why they survived like mammalian.
I mean, these guys are
evolution is helpful in
loaded
that
to the
regard.
gills with armor. Like people think they had spikes even on their eyelids.
wow,
which is crazy.
That's amazing.
I mean,
That's cool.
yeah, artists have a really hard time depicting this dinosaur and like 3D modeling because they don't exactly know like what the shape of the spikes were and
Right.
like how they laid. But there's a couple depictions that believe because their head is still kind of vulnerable, that they had spikes on their eyelids.
I was just imagining. Well, eyes would be a place to protect for sure.
Yeah.
That Indiana Jones scene where the girl closes her eyelids,
It says,
but
"Love you."
instead of it saying "love you," it's just spikes.
It's just spikes. Don't come near me.
yeah. It would be unprofessional. You're
Yeah.
my professor. The spikes are your warning.
It's definitely one of the most spikiest of the dinosaurs. Like
Yeah.
it's hitting the upper
Bravo,
echelon of all.
Bridget.
Yeah.
Bravo,
The
Bridget, on the
spikiness on
spikiness.
this
got real-
dinosaur is through the roof.
Yeah,
I just
top-notch spikes.
I mean, it's covered. It is.
It really is.
Except for its belly, which would be uncomfortable because it's got to lie down
And
sometimes.
you said it only lived like 0.3 million
Yeah.
years, right?
Yeah.
I think a conclusion we can vaguely come to, and I know this podcast is going to so piss off real paleontologists,
Oh,
but I
yeah.
bet they respond by like flooding the comments with real facts, which will be fun, so I don't
Yeah.
care. But I feel
So
like we
fuck
can
you.
start to come to the conclusion, paleontologists correct us if we're wrong, that spikes and clubtail was not a great, because that's not that long.
Effective.
0.3
Yeah.
million years it's still longer than humans. We're at like 0.25 or something.
No, but yeah, on the grand scale of how
But
long.
man,
yeah.
if you can't outlive humans, you're low on the scale of longevity because we've barely been here for like a second.
Oh yeah, there's sharks that have
100 million years. Yeah. Certain genus
and they're
of
still
sharks.
around.
Yeah.
It's just like fuck, they nailed that one.
So
Yeah.
Ankylosaurus is like this beautiful flash in the pan,
Right.
one hit wonder. Like
I mean-
a band that only has one
Yeah.
thing.
It's-
They
it's just
were
like-
of their time.
They're just like Ankylosaurus, just like we're improv jazz, baby. We're here.
We're here.
We're gonna
go.
make you feel
it's
real
about
good.
it's about the years you don't live.
Yeah,
You know.
Cretaceous
True.
period. You're feeling it, all right,
Yeah.
and then
It's
the
and then
they're
I'm
the
meteor,
gone.
snows
and
and
the meteor hit.
they're the snows informer of dinosaurs.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
like,
Great
enjoy it
jam.
now because this song's gonna seem really shitty in a few years. So enjoy me while I last.
Yeah.
I mean, because like this thing had virtually no predators, it's kind of like a turtle in that way. It
But
had,
the belly, like
But the
such a
belly.
fucking, just
I know.
cover your belly.
but it's so squat that you wouldn't think many things got under there.
But I'm just wondering.
But if you had
Yeah.
something big enough to just like headbutt it and knock it over,
right,
That's
then
how
you're
you
dead.
get it.
It's
That's
very,
who would beat it.
It's very similar to Stegosaurus, although
It is in a family of what are called armored dinosaurs,
Yeah, right.
which the Stegosaurus being one of them and the Triceratops
Although
being another.
I was reading that there's some argument. The people are talking about and arguing Stegosaurus, the fins that had no defensive quality whatsoever.
they're just
it might
cute.
have it might have dissipated
been
heat. Or
Yeah.
it might have just been like peacock feathers, like
Yeah.
it's just used during mating season. And if you have really big ones,
Although the
you're
tail was
good.
the tail was pretty cool, but
And there's
I kind of like the bludgeon because this is like the
Yeah.
paladin, of the RPG.
no Stegosaurus. It has
Has the
like
spikes.
It's like a toothbrush if the bristles were spikes. I don't
Right.
like that as much. Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
I bet
I mean, it's pretty good, but
someone
something-
will cover Triceratops or whatever it actually is, because recently there's been controversy or arguments about whether Triceratops really existed or is mislabeled fossils.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there are a ton of those.
Right, dinosaurs were like, I definitely want to find out if there really was any dinosaur that spit acid. I don't think there's proof of that one way or the other, but I got to look into it.
Yeah, that is cool.
If indeed it ever was real.
That would be really cool.
Yeah.
But I don't know. This club tail, I'm super into.
Yeah, you kind of got quiet and just stared at the image of the club tail.
I want one.
Yes.
Yeah, that club tail.
You want it for yourself?
I would love a club tail.
Not even for balance, just to push
to
people around
whack
like a bully.
Yeah, exactly. No, this is the ultimate just like fuck off dinosaur. You're covered in spikes, even up to your eyelids. Your tail is also a weapon.
Yeah.
That can break people's bones. You're not that big, but you figured out a way just to like give people the finger. Don't come near me. And I like that about it.
And I know evolution has no consciousness.
Right.
But sometimes you want it to, because I'm like, psst, just extend those spikes all the way around that belly.
Right.
It's going to live longer than 0.3 million years.
I just think it wants to be comfy and lie down sometimes.
Maybe.
I'm projecting a lot onto this dinosaur.
Well, they also crawled out of the sea, and I know a big reason most sea animals are like light on the bottom and dark on top is because that's camouflage in the sea. If you're above it looking down, it blends in with the ocean floor and vice versa.
If you're like,
So maybe it's just like a holdover of like, oh, its belly is white and flabby because it came from the sea. I don't know.
Don't call it flabby.
I'm just saying it gets spikes everywhere.
Yeah.
Did its testicles have spikes? Because that would be a key area to not overlook.
Did its teeth have spikes?
But its teeth didn't have spikes, which is crazy.
It had shitty leaf teeth.
It had leaf
blowing in
teeth.
the wind.
Yeah, what's with these
teeth?
And it ate. And it was an herbivore, right?
Yeah, we should definitely post a picture because its teeth are so crazy looking. It's they're real dumb. Let me try to find them. There's so many stupid like. Remember that show Dinosaurs?
Oh yeah, of course. They had balls. They ended it with the fucking extinction event.
They did.
They went dark with it.
Yeah, there's so many. I love the depictions that just look like Dinosaur from Dinosaurs.
Oh really? Some of the artists.
I thought that was really weird because that family.
Oh yeah, here's a picture of its tiny leaf teeth.
Multiple species, right?
The family represented multiple dinosaurs living in one family.
And the mom was Jessica
Like there's
Walter.
a mastodon, but there's a Triceratops.
Well, you just made me realize because the baby would always hit the dad and say, not the mama.
Yeah.
And the running joke was, well, the baby likes the mom better. Maybe he's literally saying, like, biologically, we can't be of the same family.
Maybe that baby knew something we
didn't. You stole my
didn't.
egg from a nest, clearly.
You clearly are.
Look at its dumb teeth. It's got just like it has almost like a human front tooth, but like all the way around.
Like a cute little 8-year-old's buck tooth.
Yeah.
And then you're like, hey, slugger, gonna ask the tooth fairy for a coin? And he whips his tail around and is like, get the fuck away from me.
Hey, slugger. Slug this.
Punch you. Yeah, break a bone with your tail. I am on the mission to find what is genuinely the cutest dinosaur.
Oh, that's a good one.
I'm looking forward to that episode.
Yeah. I mean,
just fine. And this guy can't. Some of the depictions, again, as I've mentioned, artists have a hard time drawing them, but some of them are kind of cute.
Is this the height of laziness? I
just want a cute dinosaur?
No. I want a nice stocky tail like you're describing.
Yeah.
Literally because anywhere I am, if I get tired of standing, I could tripod it and lean. I could like lean anywhere.
Nice. I really hope this dinosaur did it because it probably could have. Its tail isn't that long.
Well, if this dinosaur like leaned all cool against the wall, someone would come stab its
For
belly.
its underbelly. Yeah, I can't do that. No,
Yeah.
stay low.
It is kind of the height of... Because you're like, just, I want to lean wherever I am. Most rooms have walls fairly close to you that you can lean on. So.
I just remembered that I have a soft underbelly that anyone could slash at any time.
Yeah.
And for a split second, it terrified me. I was like, it hit me like, wait, I have a weak, soft underbelly.
I'm weak all over.
Then I pulled it back and was like, you've always known that. It's always been true. It's fine.
You're just going to come to the next podcast and you're going to be covered in spikes.
Yes.
Just got phone books and spikes.
I am going to do a girdle, like a Walmart or just a Save-On girdle.
Right.
And hot glue spikes all over it. Just drill bits around it.
But you're just getting... Where does it stop though, Michael? Because then you're gonna think you're like, oh no, my cheeks,
eyelids.
my cheeks.
Yeah. It
ends with the eyelids.
It ends with me trying to hot glue spikes to my eyelids and that not working out.
Yeah, no, but like even its head got spikes. It's got a spiky head, kind of like the Triceratops, where but it goes out instead of up.
It has very it like tells you don't fuck with me, but it also has very sensuous curves in all of its pieces.
It has very gentle features.
It looks
it's soft.
Except for the spikes.
Except for the spikes. But the spikes aren't, as we said, sharp and pointy.
No, they're short.
They're short. They're bone.
They're like bone pyramids.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. On
it's something you know how they have like those on rails and stuff outside. They have like skateboard, like don't skateboard on these stuff. Mm-hmm. Like that's what it was. Don't bite me.
A leather jacket will have the square triangular studs around it. It's that.
It's studded.
But I just love that.
Thinking of a different bone pyramid.
Nice. Every part that isn't spikes looks like it was designed by Apple. Like to have like a real nice smooth curve to it.
Yeah, no, it has like a real friendly nose. Like it's got
and the tail looks like a gentle whale's tail until you realize it's a big chunk of bone it's
a piece of vertebrae that sticks out.
Yeah.
It's a piece of bone. It's a big bone at the end.
The skin just. Imagine if like your finger skin ended at this knuckle and your last knuckle was the exposed bone, and we like used that as an attack,
or just like a club shaped thing that you can just like smack people around with.
So whatever hand you write with stays the same.
Right.
Other hand, your fingers all end with bony clubs that extend beyond the skin of your fingers.
Right.
Take or leave. Like stay as you are or take that deal.
Stay as I am.
All right.
Yeah, it seems kind of inconvenient. Like imagine having to cut with.
There's just so many activities that have two hands that I like playing guitar would be
now
awful.
I don't eat cut food anymore. I eat smashed food.
That's true.
That is
advantage swing. Yeah. Not good at guitar, smashed food.
Yeah.
Really good at fucking bongos, man.
Also, if you had exposed bone, you could like do crazy. Like, would you need to like worry about like burns?
I mean, I exposed my bone. All I got was arrested. Folks!
Hey!
I have a question about: is the tail long enough so that the bulb of the whale's tail bone can it put it in its mouth?
Can
it suck its own thumb, kind of thing?
Like absentmindedly,
because that would be the cutest
suck
thing
on its
for
tail.
Real answer.
Like a baby, Ankylosaurus.
No, my dream in trying to find the cutest dinosaur. No. Yes, that would be adorable.
It's like an ankylosaur not chasing its own tail, then catching it and gnawing on it for a while. And you're like, little guy, that's your tail, little guy.
Meanwhile, everyone's like, this dinosaur looks like Zool.
Yeah.
The monster
like
from
Zool if he had spikes on his eyelids.
Yeah.
You're like, I know. Cute, right?
Cute little
adorable.
Little tyke.
Yeah, but he's just he's not that big, which I like. I like a squat.
Pretty big.
I mean, it's long. It's not tall.
Live in this apartment. It would be immoral for me to keep it in this apartment.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, it's. I mean.
But on like a nice ranch upstate.
It's like a tiny wagon.
Yeah.
Yes.
We can find smaller. There's going to be a smaller dinosaur on here.
For sure there's going to be, because it's still like it gets up to 9 feet long.
Well, you kept saying in between, I picked a tiny little guy. But you only meant relative to the fact that Abe searched for his first entry. What's the biggest dinosaur?
What's the biggest dinosaur? It's short.
What's the biggest thing you got?
I think it's more that it's short. That I read, it's about 5'6" tall, and I was like, that's not that much taller than me.
Yeah.
It's one Dan O'Brien.
Yeah.
So, not that big. But yeah, I think I want to throw it to the floor. I brought this adorable little club-tailed spiky dinosaur to the floor. And is it real good?
Yeah, I'm going to give it the Abe Epperson official Real Good dinosaur medal.
Yeah.
I'm giving it for its back spikes. Mm-hmm. I do see the advantages to the bone whip. But
the bone whip.
There's something about the artist renderings of the back that, like, if it's anything like that, fuck yeah.
It's got a cool back.
Bridgett, this dinosaur is as real good as spikes. spikes in my inner ear canal, which would be good. I for defensive purposes.
Because no
He's
more
got
wet
shit
willies
trying to get
for-
in there.
Yeah, no. Second bullies.
It's as cool as having spikes everywhere, which is pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. It's got spikes.
Ask Sonic the Hedgehog level designers. Spikes everywhere is the way to go.
Yeah.
It is a very classic looking dinosaur. Like
Ankylosaurus is a classic. I had seen it for sure before.
Yeah.
I can't remember what. There's one that has a club tail, but the more interesting thing is its head, the skin stops, and the skull is exposed, and it just hits stuff.
Oh,
when
yeah,
it's
I
exposed.
saw that one. It's like a hat.
Yeah, we'll get to it.
I think
Yeah.
it's like Allosaurus.
I thought that
or
was
something like that.
Ankylosaurus, so we'll figure that out for a later
and
episode.
both of these dinosaurs, by the way, if you guys haven't read the fictional Dinotopia,
Yeah, it's great.
yeah. As a kid, I would just look at the drawings.
It's one of my favorite books.
It's just so well designed, and both Ankylosaurus and the one you're talking about, the ram head one,
Yeah.
they were like domesticated. Like they would use them as like they would drive them.
It's a living.
It's a living.
That is one of only 2 books that I would ever want to adapt to film if I got the.
looks
Like, I'd
dope.
love to write the Dinotopia movie. Wouldn't that be
yeah.
fun? Yeah.
Heck yeah, Dinotopia. Real good.
Ankylosaur, real good.
Real good.
Real good.
Well, it has been settled. Thank you all for listening. That dinosaur, real good.
When it's right side up. Upside down?
Not so good.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Hey, everybody, Swaim here. With added excitement in my voice because it might equate to money for me. I just wanted to officially let everyone know, through the medium of audio rather than tweets, that Small Beans has a merch store now. Yeah, that's right. And this is not just some cash grab with the logos of our shows, although you can get logo tees there if you'd like. We worked very hard with several very talented artists to really present you with shirts and buttons and content to come that we really think is worth your purchase and you're going to enjoy. And if you're someone who hasn't been able to patronize us, this is a fantastic way to support Small Beans directly without having to sign up for Patreon. And of course, you get a physical item in return rather than just our glorious, glorious content, which will remain free, but is not free to make. So we'd really appreciate anyone who's willing to check out the SB merch store. It is at smallbeans.bigcartel.com, and there you will find a bunch of hilarious shirt designs, some limited edition buttons, as well as an ever-increasing amount of audio content to download. We're talking original rap songs, audiobook versions of short stories, and so on. And we're always brainstorming and trying to add new things to the shop, but we'll stop if no one goes there. So please check it out, smallbeans.bigcartel.com. And as always, we love you. We love you. We love you. We love you. We love you.